So hello everyone, this is the 11th video where I will discuss today basic what is the keyword driven framework, and then all the related things we will discuss. And in previous session we have discussed about the data driven framework. So today we will work on the keyword driven framework, and after that there will be some consecutive classes where we will discuss about the more healthy framework, or the framework which will have all the things like logs and config files and all the things it will have. So today agenda is simple keyword driven framework. So in the previous class we have discussed about the data driven framework. Okay, data driven framework. So first of all, understand what is the data driven and what is the keyword driven. The previous class I have explained about the data driven, means when the application is dealing with the data, then we use the data driven framework. But what do you mean by the keyword? Keyword means by when your application is dealing based on the keywords, then it will become as a keyword driven framework. Let me explain you a little bit. For example, let me create an Excel file. So suppose that there is some manual testing team and the automation testing team. They are working on some project like that. I have a SSMC test cases. SSMC, like I have a module like reports. Okay, so this will be some test cases in our Excel file. So how the test cases will look alike? So in the manual testing we have three parts of our Excel, if you remember. So the first part belong to the module document history. Document history means it will have your document number, then who have created by, and then it will have your reviewed by and approved by, and then version, and these all the basic details this document will have. The first, your Excel sheet, the first tab will have these all things. The second tab, it is the important tab, it will have the scenarios. Okay, and the third tab will be the test cases, or you can say test steps. So what will happen in the scenario? This tab is useful in the keyword driven framework. So first of all, in the manual testing we have the scenario ID. Okay, then we have the scenario description, and then we have, I'm not writing these all things in a very elaborated way. My agenda is to understand, my agenda is to explain that how keyword driven is working. Okay, so there will be some scenario, and then based on the scenario we will have some type scenario. Type, what are the types of the scenario, means whether it is some integration testing or system testing, and then we have some you can say mm, status, and then we have created by. So these are the basic steps we have. And before the status, this is the manual testing. I am just explaining you that how we are integrating with the automation testing to create a framework. So suppose that my first scenario is something like that, 001, like navigate to page, or dashboard page, or you can say the practice page. Practice. Okay, so this is my scenario. To achieve this scenario, so this is a kind of system testing, not an integration. And we will execute and we will create here the pass fail status. And for this scenario, we will write our test cases. Means I will say that TC number, then scenario, or you can say test case description, and then we have steps, and then we have expected, and then we have actual. These all things we have basically. So steps will be, suppose that this is my scenario like navigate to the practice page. So my steps will be something like that. Open the browser, enter the URL, and these all things will be my steps. Okay, and this will be the result. And if there any text data, so I will enter the data. Okay, So this is the kind of our manual test. I'm just giving an example that how actual manual testing is done. Okay, so it will have the three parts: document, scenario, and the test cases. So when we discuss about the scenario part, so this is being used by both the tester, whether you are manual tester, whether you are automation tester. So here there is a one more column we will add. We will give it name as a keyword. Okay, so for this, for example, that this is a scenario like a navigate to the practice page. We will say that uh, navigate or open practice page. This is a scenario. Okay, now second scenario. Suppose that we have like a second. Enter the first name and last name. Okay, so again it's a system type test case, and again for automation tester I will give it name as a enter first last name. I'm just giving an example for you that now let's see it very carefully. So what this scenario page will do, what this your script will do. So basically it is just integrating the manual testing to the automation testing. Okay, so here one more column for the manual execution status, and then we have one more column like automation execution status. Okay, so in the real industry, if they are using the keyword driven framework, that means they are doing both the things. Mean they are also writing their manual script, they are also writing their automated script, and where they are integrated through the scenario tab or your scenario page. Okay, so in the scenario page, what we are doing basically, this description will be used by the manual tester, and they will use this description to write their test cases. They will write the steps, they will write the data and whatever they want to do. And one scenario may have the multiple test cases. Again, same thing what the automation tester will do. For each scenario, they will convert it to a meaningful keyword. Okay, so in the keyword, they will write their test cases in the automated script as they have written in the manual tester. They have written in a simple program, simple English language. They will write their script, and based on their, you can say they basically they will create a method based on this name. Okay, so what will happen? So whenever your automation script will run, so it will find the keyword, this one, and for each keyword we will be having the method, and it will get executed. Okay, so this is the simple concept that we are using the keyword driven framework. Okay, so now let me create some project, and here I will show you that how to work on the keyword driven framework. Okay, so in my previous tutorial it says, let me create a new package instead of creating a new project. So I will right click on it, and I will say it, just create a package. It's hanging, I think so. Let me create a package, give it name as a com.man.keyword. Okay, keyword. So here I will create my keyword driven test cases. So always remember, you have to keep this read and write Excel file which is inside the utility, and whatever I have created my previous tutorial, this one, not this one. In my previous session I have explained you about this utility file that read and write. It will be always in your project, whether you are doing the data driven, whether you are doing the keyword driven. So this is a common file. In my previous session I have explained you that this file will have the predefined some method that how to read the data, how to write the data, how to create the Excel. These all methods if this file will have. In my Java session, I have already explained about these all things. So now I will just create the method based on that keyword. So always remember, whatever the keyword that you have given, you have to give the same name of your method. Okay. So now let me create a class. So now your class will have this one here. Now suppose that I am working on my you can say practice page. So I will say that practice page keywords. Okay. So I have created a class of practice page, and here I will create all the static methods. Why? Because it's a good practice. Whenever you are creating the static method, you can call them by directly. You can say class name dot method name. So first of all, let me create a static web driver. I will say that driver. Okay. I'm just creating a simple framework. In the next session or after that, we will create a very good framework, and we will then this if you know these all things, then it will be very helpful for you to understand the main framework. Okay, so this is just an example I am giving you, that how to implementing the keyword driven framework. So we will create a static always remember, in the static keyword driven framework, we generally used to create the static method. Okay, so public static void. So what was my first method name? It was the open practice page. Okay, so this one I will copy from here, and then I will put it here. Always remember, whatever the keyword that you have given here, it should be come here, like this one. Okay. Now what I will do, I will do the same step that I have done before, like system dot set properties, this one. And now I will give it a web driver dot chrome dot driver. Okay, in the argument we will keep the driver path. Okay, so I will let you know that basically we don't give the driver path hard coded. We put the driver path in the config file, and then we will fetch it from here. But for the time being, let me give the driver path as we done in the previous class. This one. Okay, so in the next class or furthermore, I will let you know that we do not use to give the driver path. This one we will get by the from the folder. We will fetch it out, or from the you can say config file. We will fetch it out. Okay, so let me. It's only change double quote required, not for double slash required. So I'm just giving some paths over here. Okay, so just try to understand what I'm doing actually. I'm just creating the method for each scenario. Okay, so whatever the scenario you are having, you have to give a unique keyword for them, and for unique keywords you have to create the method in your a separate class. Okay, so now I will say that driver is equal to new chrome driver. Simple. I will just import my chrome driver, this one. Then the same step I will do, like driver dot manage dot window dot timeout. Driver dot window dot manage dot maximize, this one. Okay, then I will say that driver dot navigate dot to, and here I will enter the URL of my practice page. So what is my practice page? I will go to here. I will say that www.way2testing.com. So here I will take the practice page URL, this one. Okay, and I will implement a page load timeout. So I will say that driver dot manage dot timeout dot page load timeout, and I will say that 5, and I will say that time unit dot seconds. This one I will take. Okay, so my first method has been completed, that I have to open the URL. That as it will be written in the test case, open the browser, enter this one, enter the URL, this one. So it will be my manual test case, and same I will do in the automation testing, that I will opening the browser, I am hitting the URL, and these all things I will do. Now suppose the second method is this one, like I have to enter the first name and last name. So again my scenario will become like this one. I will create a manual cases. So this one. So I will say that enter the first name, and I'm just giving an example that you will enter the data here, then enter the last name in data here, clear these all things, these all things. So these all things will be part of the manual testing. Same we will do the automation testing. We will write again a method for this. Always remember, suppose that you are writing all the test case, so this will have a separate file or separate module. Again same, suppose that for the there is a very big project SFMC and you are working on some module, so there will be some one single Excel sheet which will have the test case of that module. Same, there will be a single class and it will have all the methods. Suppose that you have in the same project you have the second module, so there will be a second Excel sheet which will have all these things, and second you can say Java class. Okay, so this is not in a one file or one Excel or one Java file. Again I will create a method public static void, and I will use this keyword as it is here. Okay, and again I will use the same thing, like I will inspect the element and I will pass the value as I did in the previous session, like this one, driver dot find element. These all things I will copy simply as I have done before. So what I am doing here, I am saying that string comma string. Okay, so I am taking a very small example. You can do much more. String dot, this one. Okay, so now you have created both the method, and if you have multiple method you can create by this way multiple method. Now you have already remember that your data Excel sheet has been, means a utility sheet of read and write Excel has been properly written and all the methods are has been properly defined. Okay, now I will execute my test cases. So how I will execute? So there will be a separate package which is known as the execution. Somebody is saying it's a running package, or somebody is saying that the main package. Suppose if I will open my this one framework, so here I am given the name that execution package. Okay, so it's the actual structure of the framework that you will be designing the organizer. So for the time being I am just creating a simple package. I will give it name like form.lang.execution. Okay, so this is my execution package. So here I will create a class. I will give it name as execute test cases. Okay, so till now we have done. Now we have to execute our test cases. So how it will be executed? Okay, so always remember how it will be executed. So first of all, we will use our annotation @test, and I will create a method like a public void verify. You can say phase one or practice phase test. Suppose that I have created a method. Inside this method, I will do my all that stuff, and let me import this TextNG annotation. Always remember you are importing the org.testng annotation, not the JUnit. Now here I will call my Excel sheet. I will get the data from Excel sheet, and then I will, based on the keywords, I will execute my method. Okay, so we know that how to read the Excel sheet. Okay, so how we will read? So I will just say that string, and I will say string and like a keyword is equal to, we will say that class name read excel, read write excel, read write excel, excel dot, there is a method, right, read excel. I will call it, so I will give the file name, sheet name, row name, and then cell name. Okay, so let me give these all things. So let me give the proper path. Okay, so first of all I will give the path, this one, and the name of the file is, let me rename this one. So my file name will be this one. I will say that dot xlsx. So always remember that you are giving the complete path. Okay, now you have to give the row num, seat num. So always remember it's the zeroth seat, it's the first seat. You are giving the first seat over here. Now row num will become always this one, D, means 0 1 2 3. It will be constant for every time. It will be 3 for the column name, and row name will be changing, means first row, second row, this one. So I will take it as a variable like int I. Okay, so I will keep this on thing inside a for loop. So I will say that this one, I will create in a for loop. I will say that and I is equal to 1 if I is less than 3 and I plus plus. Okay, so it's asking for exception. So for the timing, I will use the throw, but in the actual project, you will not use the throw. You will use the try and catch block. Okay, so now I have read the keyword from my Excel like this. It will read this keyword, now this keyword. Now I will match these all keywords, and based on that, we will perform the operation. So I will say that if I will put the condition if keyword dot equal and ignore case which one, this one. Okay, so I am just trying to finding the Excel keyword from my Excel, and I am comparing it from my method. If it has been found, then what will happen, it will execute your appropriate test case. So I will say this one dot, I have created a static method so I can call them. Okay, so this is the main funda, that how you are integrating your Excel with your um, automation script, this one. So core concept will be the same, and in the organization bit will be changed, but the concept will be same, that you are reading the Excel, you are getting the keyword, and based on that keyword you are just finding your Java class method, and you are executing that one. Somebody is creating the object for this one, then they are calling this method, and somebody is doing by the static method, somebody. So it purely depends on your organization framework. Okay, now again I will say else, simple, I will say if keyword dot equal to this one. Okay, so I will say if it is equal to this one, then it will, then my second method like enter, username password will be executed. And here you can also take the input from the Excel, or also you can give the hard coded value. Okay, so this is the way that we will give the hard coded value or something. So this is the way that I am trying to say that in the keyword driven framework, I am just refreshing it. You first of all the pages keywords will be written. Suppose that this is a one page or one screen of your project, so all the method will be written in this way, and same as we have written in our Excel sheet this way. And there will be second file will the Excel utility, which of the Java class, which will use to read the data from the Excel. Basically, it will read the keyword from the Excel, and we will be comparing if keyword with the method name. If they are matching, then we are executing that method. If it is matching with this method, then we are executing this method. This is a very simple concept. So let me run this execution test case, and always remember your Excel should be closed. So always remember that you have given the right path and everything. So let me run this one. Okay, so my first test case, it will be executed like first how to open the browser, enter the URL, then go to there and perform some stuff. Okay, so if you have some different for each page, you have to create a separate Java file, which will be named as the page keyword or something. Then you can use. So we can use such kind of things as well in our application. Framework means you are using each and everything, whether it is related to the data driven, whether it is related to keyword driven, whether it is related to some text ng eye listener or something. So all things will be combined in your framework. Okay. So whatever the framework I will describe you in the further more classes, in the future more classes. So it's all about the you can say your keyword driven framework. Now if we have time we will discuss about one more thing. It's a keyword driven framework. Okay, so you can see it's clearing and it's filtering. That's finished. Okay, so it's a basic structure how we will designing the keyword driven framework. Okay, so you can make it more complex, you can enter something and you can do all that stuff. Okay, so let me tell you one more thing, which is a config file, means config.property file, and what is it and for what purpose we are using it and how to read the config file, so that from the next tutorial you will be very familiar with the config file when we are you can say when we are creating the framework. So suppose that in the previous session what we were doing, suppose we need the XPath or we need the some, suppose that we need to read the driver path, so we were taking it from some folder or some from you can say our PC folder, these all things. Also for the URL we are taking it from some hard coded value. Okay, and also for the you can say suppose there is an username and password, then we are taking it from here. So all the variables which are common for everyone in the project will be kept on config.property file. So what it is that if you have a simple text file, it is very similar to the text file, but the extension will be dot property. Okay, and name you can put any name whatever you want, but in general in the organization we are giving it name as a config.property. So this file will have your all the common variables, common common variables. What variable? Like your URL, your username, your password, your you can say the driver path, means your all the driver path will be here. Okay, now this is the one common you can say, this is the one kind of config file. We can have multiple config file in the latest framework or today's nowadays running framework. We have one more property file, we are saying it as a object.property file. Okay, so always try to understand what is the properties file, properties file. Okay, so you can have a multiple files in your properties file in your project. So the config.property file will have the common variables. Okay, but suppose that till now we are taking the X path directly. If you say check it here, so in our project we have taken the X path like this one X path, this one X path, this one. Okay, so in the actual project we will not write the X path in our script. Okay, suppose that some X path is being changed. Suppose that this has been changed to this one, like this had become one. For the small change, we have to change our a lot of places. A same X path will be used or may be used at 100 of more than places. So we need to change at the 100 places. Okay, we it can also happen that we got missed some path. So instead of writing the X path here, we will create a separate object.property file. So all the X path, CSS path, and all the path we will write here. And from here, we will just read all the path and we will perform the operation. So whenever any path will be changed, we just need to change it from here. We will not go to the our script and these all things. So in general, in the general framework, there will be two property file. One is the config.property file. There will be some object.property file. You can give any name, but in the organization they are giving just two names like config and object.property. Okay. So these file will have the variable. But to read the file, we will create a Java class to read the value from the file. So let me show you. Suppose uh, this is a data file, this is a utility. This suppose that this is a utility file. It have a config.property file. Okay. So let me first remove it here. Let me say delete it. Okay. So we need to create a folder which will be named as a properties. Okay. So same we will create a package. We will give it name as a properties. So we will say that form dot lang dot property. So means all the property file will be inside this package. Now I will create a file. You can get the option to create the file here. If your Eclipse is not able to find the file here, just go to the other. You will get the file and folder option here. Just click on the next button and give it name as a config dot extension should be very clear. Properties. Okay. So extension should be always property. Name you can change, but in general we used to take, for example, that WebDriver we are taking name as a driver. So WebDriver extension name is driver. You can give any name. So it's a standard that we are following. Okay. So now it will have. So it will generally have your URL. For example, that URL of my practice page was like this one. So I will copy this one. This one. No inverted comma, nothing double quote, so nothing. And if you want to suppose that I will giving it name as a browser. So browser will be Chrome. Okay. And suppose that I'm saying that the username and username is equal to, for example, I'm saying that this is okay. Then I will be password. Password is equal to, for example, way to testing. So all the basic things which will be used by each and every member will be stored here. Okay. Then we will create a class to read the value from config file. Sorry. Okay. So now I will create a class to read the value from these all files. Okay, so I will create a class to read the value from this config file. So I have already created a class. So let me create a new class here. So I will give it name as config reading, not the package. Let me create a new class. I will give it name as config read. Means what we are doing, we are just reading the config file. Okay, so now let's see. So already I have written. Okay, so I have already written a code. So I will just follow this code. So first of all, you have to create some variable like static file src. Okay, so you are just creating some variable import.java and then static file input. Then we have file input stream and the property. This is the class we will use to read the file. Okay, so I will say that static file input string file, and the same I will do for the second one. and I will say that static properties. This is the class name properties, and you can give the name as your object like property. Some most of the people are giving the name as a prop, so it will be inside the util package. Okay, now somebody is creating a separate method for this one, that like I have created this method, but it is not happening this way. We generally create a public constructor of this class, public constructor, this one, and inside that constructor we will simply load our, you can say, this file. Okay, so I will say that src means here I have given the name of my object. Now I will create the object here is equal to new file, and here I will give the complete path of my property file. So I will go to here, I will copy the property like this one, and I will copy the complete path. Okay, and I will put it here. Now I will make it inside the double quote, and I will apply the double comma. So I will keep it as this one, this one, one. Okay. So now I will create the object of FIS, file input stream. Somebody are also starting from the FIS, you can also do, but it's not a good practice. It's a proper way to write the code in the framework, file input stream, and inside that I have to pass this src. Sorry, src. Okay, it will asking for exception. You can also throw the exception, and then we will use this property class object to load the file. So I have created the object by this way. We will create. Okay, so I will create a object like a prop is equal to new properties. So this one I have to copy, and it will take as a argument as a FIS, not FIS. It will take as a argument as a nothing. Now we have to load the property file. So inside there is a method named as prop.load. Now it will accept the file input stream argument. You will check it here. So here you have to pass your FIS object, this one. So whenever you will call this class, you will create the object of this class. So whenever you will create the object of your class, the constructor will be called. The constructor will take the file path. It will just load your file. Now it's very easy to read the file. Okay, so I will just create a method. I will say that public void read, public void read config. Suppose that I have created a method like config file, this one. Okay, so now I will say that prop dot, there is a method name there, get property, this one. You have to give the exact name, like for example the URL I want to read, so I will give the exact name here as this way. Okay, so public, suppose that it will saying that public string. Okay, so now I will say that string URL is equal to this one, and it will return URL, this one. Okay, so this is the way to read your config file. So whenever you will call this method, it will read the value of URL and it will return to you. Okay, now let's move on your project, which was this one. So here we are entering the URL. Okay, driver.navigate to the this one. This time we will not use this one. Okay, so how we will use this one? First of all, we will create the object of this config read file. we will create the object of this config.read file, and then we will create the URL. Here it was. So I will say that this obj is equal to new this. So you have created the object of your config read. Now by using this object you can call the method of read config. Okay, so inside the read config we are actually calling the URL read config file, or you can say read config file, give it more meaningful name URL. Okay, so whenever we are calling the URL we will say that URL. So this is the way I'm trying to tell you that how we will read the data from the config file. Okay, so this is the way that we are reading the value of the URL. Same way we will use for the you can say the, I'm just trying to tell you that how we will access the value from the config file. In the next class I will explain you much more, like how to create the framework, then how to create the config file, and these all things we will discuss in the further mode. Okay, so this is the way that we are reading. First of all you have to create a config file. You will put your all the variables of your config file, whatever the variables are there, and then you will create a class and which will read the value from your data. For example, for the second, what how many variables you have here, you have to create the same method in your Java class. For example, that for I will say that public string, and I will say that read username. Don't worry, it will run. It's my agenda is not to show you that URL is opening. My agenda is to show you that how we are reading. Okay, so read username, for example. So this property file have the 4 variables, so we will use the 4 and read browser name, for example, browser name. Okay, so again I will say that string browser name is equal to, again I will say that property object name dot class name, and here I have to give the value means this one, this browser. So you must be thinking that now we have to mention only one browser. I will let you know that how we are dealing with these all things, and then we have to return this one. Okay, so whenever we are trying to comment on the config file, you just need to write the has. Okay, it has been commented. So now for again suppose that we have the browser is equal to Firefox. Now it will take the browser value as a Firefox, not the Chrome. Okay, now again suppose that we have a browser value of IE, means Internet Explorer. So we will use this one. So we can comment remaining thing. Okay, so this is the way that you have to read the config file. Means you will put all the variables here, and then you have to create a class which will have all the methods for each element whatever you have mentioned here, and then whenever we want these all things variables, we will just create the object of this class, and also we can call the method. Somebody also they doing something like this one, they are creating the static method, and by class name dot object name they are calling these all variables. So this is the way that we are reading the value from the config file. In the next tutorial I will start the actual framework, means from very beginner, from a very scratch. Class may take some hours, so please be prepared. So that's enough for today.